Okay, I'm not sure if you guys can see me. Well, this is not good. Okay. I'm trying a new streaming thing, y'all. Bear with me. You know, I don't even think I need this, Joy. This light. Oh, never mind. I do need the light.
Oh, Mars is gone.
It went by fast, too.
I'll let Mars like be replaced with the sun.
Okay. Oh, that's too distracting. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna give you guys about a minute to come on in, and I'm about to oil my face because powder my face because I look like an oily mess. I'll be back, y'all. Okay. We're here. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, let's go and get started. Hello, everybody. This is Tahiri Divine. I also go by Diana, the Metaphysical Midwife. We are here today for another series on our shadow work series. It's our spiritual protection series that's leading us into our shadow work series. So today we're talking on spiritual warfare in the shadows. And just to recap for those who are just coming in that are new to me, I am Tahiri Divine. I go by Diana, the Metaphysical Midwife. The reason why I call myself the Metaphysical Midwife is that I believe in that my calling, my mission, my duty is for me to birth myself, and through my experiences and learning and working through my own shadows, my own healing, my own ascension, I too thus become a midwife for others, to show you how to be that for yourself so that you may birth yourself into your true form. And I believe this is what the Bible truly means when they say being born again. They're not talking about going back into the womb of your mother, or they're not talking about this concept of being saved from like some hell or whatever, right? I believe it's really talking about the concept of being born again as living your life authentically through yourself versus what other influences or teachers or culture, society, whatever that has been used to become the blueprint for your life that may not really be in alignment with your life, right? So when it talks about this, as we're relating this to spiritual warfare, the reason why I'm doing this series is because that spiritual warfare is a real thing. It's not always glammed up as Hollywood or movies or entertainment can make it seem. It's not Lovecraft, right? Although that seems to be the popular show right now. But there is some similarities to it now. And I'm only saying that because I'm hearing a lot of people talk about Lovecraft. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm looking forward to getting into the show when time permits for me to do that. But I say all this to say that is that we don't want to glamorize our spiritual experience, although we do want to allow ourselves to have some glamour, allow ourselves to have some fun and some fantasy. There's nothing wrong with that. We just don't want to get lost in the fantasy, because getting lost in the fantasy can really cause us, hey, I'm recording, can really cause us to be a stumbling block on our path. And we can get caught up in being trapped. Ain't nobody got time to be trapped up in some things when you out here trying to live free, live your best life, whoopity whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay. So let's talk about the shadows today. What exactly is the shadows? In my experience, or what I believe the shadows to be, is the part of ourselves that we push aside, right? Our hidden desires, our fears, our parts of ourselves that we may not like or may have been told is unlovable or unlikable. And so we tend to like to suppress, to ignore, to push away. Or it can even just be impulses and ideas that may not seem true to us, but it's coming up, right? It's like word vomit, like you're trying to hold it in, but it just spews out of you, right? So what we want to do and why we want to become aware of this is that a lot of our subconscious triggers or subconscious mind is what really is ruling or directing or driving our consciousness. And when we start to merge the two together and learn to be in tandem with each other and make peace and harmony with what we call the dark side of ourselves, this is really where we will see our true empowerment and our true authentic self, because you're not living, I like to say, living by the light. Like you're only living by what you present yourself to be, or this concept or this idea, versus really living fully in your being, right? And not, it's just really living fully. It's living authentically and not being concerned with others before you, or what they think or what they say or what they feel, or allowing that to deter you from being true to yourself, whatever that may mean. She can get that for you, okay? Because I told you that. Okay, so go ahead and get her some more, and that'll be the end of that. But yes, okay, so let's get into today. We're talking about the shadows, right? Because I have next month, you guys know we're going into shadow work, and a lot of you have been bringing interest into this. And shadow work doesn't look the same for everybody. Everything's going to be different. Everything is going to be different for everybody. It has to be really tailored to what you need it to be. For me personally, my shadow work has been more so on my mental field, right? Really going into my own mind and really clearing out ideals and thoughts and all those fun stuff and scary stuff to really get to this place where I know I'm not fully there, but I definitely know I'm on the path to getting there. And so I like to come up with, I like to talk about mindset, right? I like to go into the realms of the inner mind, because I strongly believe that where the energy flows, where the mind goes, the energy will flow. So whatever we fixate in our mind, whatever we program ourselves, we're having programmed to believe or programmed to do, is really where the starting base is to get to the next level. So let's talk about this. So for my experience, let's say I'm going to go into my first, what I consider to be my first real work in shadow work. As far as consciously, it was about 5 years ago. That's really when my spiritual awakening started speeding up, or really taking a nosedive into the deep end of myself, and really asking myself a different set of questions. And I really believe that's what shadow work is. It's really about really talking to yourself. Who are you? What is it you want? What is it that you're trying to do? Why are you here? What is your goal? What are your passions? What are your fears? How do you sabotage yourself? How can you love yourself more? All these things, asking all these things. Well, why do you do this? Asking the whys and the hows, the who's, the what, the when, where's, right? And so doing this and doing that creates a foundation for you to really start with on building up on who you really are, and building up onto the confidence that you need to really go out there and live your life authentically. Because as much as we may say that, and as easy as it may seem to do, right? Being authentic is really hard, right? We live in a society right now where everything is masked. Hey, Raven, hello. Where everything is masked, right? We're wearing physical masks, but prior to that, we were just masking ourselves by trying to hide behind an identity, a perceived identity, right? That was my shadow. I was hiding behind a perceived identity because I did not have clear boundaries of who I was. And that was not self-taught, excuse me. That was imposed on me as a child. I shared you guys my background. I'm the eldest of 4 children. I come from a military background, Southern background, 2-parent home, what seems to be the ideal situation for a lot of people. Oh, you were a 2-parent home, up, working middle class family. On paper or on the outside, we looked like the perfect family, but internally there was a lot of stuff happening inside the internal realms that created a lot of discourse and dysfunction, not only in my life, but in my siblings' life. But I'm going to stick to my life, right? So for me, what I'm currently working on right now in my shadow work, I'm telling you guys, mine is more internal right now. Mine is more so the fight between my old self and my newborn self, as far as who's going to steer the boat, right? Who is steering this vehicle right now? Is it my passions or is it my fears? And so right now, or at least what I came out of, I've came out of a place where I shared with you guys, for me, my biggest thing was always having other people's voices in my head. And when I mean voices, I'm talking about pretty much ideas and thought patterns that weren't necessarily my own, but were in alignment for what I was told my life needed to be, and what I was told and given that how I need to live. And until I was able to clear out all those thoughts out of my head and those voices, was when I was able to really start to learn and grow into my own voice and learn into my own intuition. So I'm out of that battle. The battle that I'm in right now, or I guess it's a battle. The battle I'm in right now is the battle of my inner worlds, is the battle of my emotions. And so what happens with us when we don't have that part of ourselves, or we don't tap into that part of ourselves, we leave ourselves susceptible for spiritual attacks. And like I said, spiritual attacks doesn't necessarily always mean somebody's putting a hex or voodoo or whatever on you. I mean, it can mean that, but it doesn't always mean that. It can also mean you giving your own self pushback because you are not branching out, or you are not voicing yourself, or you are not, whatever you're not doing that you're supposed to be doing. That is an energetic pushback, and that is spiritual warfare, because now it's the battle between old self and new self, and who's going to really take control, right? So let's talk about that, how to deal with energetic pushback when it's coming more so from yourself. One of the things I believe that's going to be very helpful in that is to be clear with yourself on what it is that you want. What is it that you're going to do? Are you going to allow yourself to stay where you're at and continue your patterns? Because you know what your patterns give you. You know, you've been there, you've done your cycle. You're like, you know what? When I behave this way and when I say this, then you're going to say that. And then I'm going to say this, then you're going to do that. And then I'm going to do this. It's like, you know your cycle by now. So you have consciousness or awareness to know, okay, I know my cycle. When this situation or event or circumstances come again, because it always does, they always come again, like cycles, are you going to go through the same roller coaster ride, or are you going to steer the boat this time on how to get on getting a different outcome, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome is called insanity, right? And we ain't insane, right? But that's how we create spiritual warfare in our life, because we do insane-ish. We say one thing, but then our actions and where we put our energy and our focus to is totally elsewhere, okay? So for me, where I'm at in this part of my shadows, I'm more so dealing with the emotional realm of myself. So remember, guys, we talked about right before August, it was in July, I did a live talking about attachment styles, or you know, attachment styles, how people attach themselves to things. So whether you're attaching yourself to an identity, to a person, to a relationship, to a job, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's important to know your attachment style. So are you, or I'm sorry, I'm not calling it attachment style. Maybe it is. Well, anyway, it's 4 types. You have the attachment, you have anxiousness, avoided, secure, and then I think dismissive. So those are attachment styles. And the reason why I believe attachment styles are important to know is it gives you a framework to recognize where you're at right now. And recognizing your framework allows you to recognize your pattern, and it allows you to identify where you're at. Because if you give a name to a thing, you're now able to define it. And when you're able to define something, you can either redefine, exchange it, or let it stay the same. And so since I'm about practical spirituality, we're about making our spirituality practical. How do I really go through the realms of my inner worlds? And I believe that understanding your attachment styles will help you, because I know it's helped me, recognize how I approach not only circumstances, but also how I approach people and how I show up for myself, to be honest, because I'm all about showing up. That's my thing. Run up, get done up, or pull up and let's do this. That's my energy, right? And what I've recognized by knowing that's my energy, I've also recognized too that I have an anxious attachment style. So therefore, I attach out of fear, and doing so, hey, you're a little too noisy. Thank you. And in doing so, that right there shows me how I have disassociated myself from my emotional world, and how that has played out into my current manifestation, or my current manifestation process now, is that my old way of being, you know, my current or my post-current attachment style, how that has affected my manifestations, and how, yes, I have been able to manifest, and yes, I've been able to transform my life, and yes, I've been able to do all those things. However, I'm in a new level, and when we go to new levels, we have to adjust, right? We have to let go. And in doing that, we have to now do what we call a whole death and rebirth process. And dying to self, old self, is tough to do. I'm not going to act like that's easy. I mean, it kind of is easy. It's tough to do because, or I'll say this, it has been tough for me to do because much of my identity has been based off the story I have told myself, based on the experiences and the narration that my mind has given on my said experiences. And so now I have to sit with myself and say, well, yes, that was my experience. Past tense, the word was. However, as of recently, that has not been my experience, but I've noticed I catch myself tapping into that stream of consciousness in myself. And I know how this stream goes. I wrote this stream before. I've been in the stream. I actually lived in this stream before. And I don't have to keep my boat here. And the same goes for all of us. We don't have to keep our boat in the same stream, especially when you recognize the pattern. So now that we recognize a pattern, how do we get out of it? First step first, where the mind goes, the energy must follow. So now we have to do a reprogramming of our mind. This is where spiritual defense is coming in. Mantras. For those like myself who have suffered from anxiety or lack of confidence in self, or just fear of putting yourself out there, mantras will be what will help you through that. And it can actually help anybody, whether that's your specific experience that I shared with myself or not. Mantras really do help reprogram your mind, because faith comes by hearing. And when you hear something, you hear it again, and you hear it again, and you hear it again, and then you hear it again, you're bound to believe it. This is why the radio or media will constantly play something over and over and over again, or use the same keywords over and over again, because what they're doing is a spirit. They're spiritually attacking us. And also, media doesn't have to always be for spiritual attack too, guys. It can also be for spiritual upliftment, spiritual protection. It just depends on which message that we choose to tap into, or which polarity we're trying to view the message that's coming at us. But anyway, so I want you guys to know that faith comes by hearing. So when you're doing mantras, you have to allow yourself to soak in that, right? Because for so long you were soaking or seeping into your previous energy flow, the words that you were telling yourself, and now you're coming into saying, okay, I have to redirect or recourse and give myself some new things to say. And hello, I want to make sure I'm greeting you all. Hey, the High Priestess, Miss Amby, Love Jones, that's my my line sister right there. Kiki, gotta love me, Goddess Essence Energy. Hello, beautiful. I'm happy to have you guys with me. Hello, hello, hello. So yes. So reprogramming your mind, that is spiritual protection, okay? That's also spiritual defense, and also spiritual offense. And the reason why it works as a trifecta is because it's tackling, or not tackling, I don't use the word tackling, it is penetrating your mind. And that is the most palatable place for your rise or your fall. That's your foundation. Your mind is your foundation. Hey, Fendi fan. Hello, hello, hello. You guys are coming through tonight. Hey. So yeah, so this is where we're getting at when we're talking about spiritual protection and how to protect yourself and how to defend yourself and how to offense, be on offense, because you don't always want to be on the defense. You want to be on the offense. So mantras, starting with mantras. I want to give you guys some shadow work tools and spiritual defenses that you can use. The first thing first will always be yourself. You are your first anything, right? So I posted about an altar, right? This post on my Instagram feed talking about altars. And what I want you guys to know, an altar, ALTAR, is really you. You are your altar. So you alter your reality, ALTER. And your altar is where your temple is, and your temple is your mind. Okay, y'all see how you see how the words be playing and the words be telling us what it is? You know, we got to look at words differently, and that's one thing I love to do. I love words, y'all. I'm a wordy kind of person. But our temple. So when we're securing our mind, when we're securing our foundation structure that takes in information and process information, we are filtering out the soul, because I really believe that the mind is it's the battleground, yes, and it's the foundation. But I think I like to look at the mind. Jordan, open the door. Tell Jordan to open the door. Well, then change the channel, baby. I don't know. Yeah, so your mind is the altar. So I believe that the mind is the, she said facts, bet. I believe the mind is, what's what we're trying to use, is the filter between the soul and your external experience, right? So when we have the mind right, it's able to allow the soul to really flourish through, or your messages or yourself to shine through. And when our mind is not right, when it's being penetrated with negative or toxic or unhealthy messages, it can seep into our soul if we allow it to fester there. Oh, hey, Yemi. Hello, hello. So yes. So mantras is going to be important to use to help keeping your mind intact. And then other tools that you can use outside of yourself, because I want you guys to know there are no tools outside of yourself that gives you protection. There are no tools outside of yourself that will give you, defense or anything. It's all you. All the external tool is an extension of you. Now, I use crystals, and I tell you guys this too. The chemical makeup of a crystal is the exact chemical makeup of yourself. So when we're using crystals, particularly, let's say a Yoni egg, right? Let's say a rose quartz Yoni egg, which resonates at the frequency of love, compassion, care. When we use this rose quartz Yoni or a rose quartz stone, we're not saying that this stone is going to give me love. This stone is going to give me compassion or any of the other properties or attributes that it holds. No, what this stone will do, it will help activate that's already within us. We already have love, we already have compassion, you already have courage, you already have strength, you already have these things. It is that you just need something, you just need a buffer to help you clean out the areas. Oh wait, speaking of crystals, y'all, I stay with crystals in my bra. Shout out to all the women who keep crystals in their bra. Today I had to have a lapis lazuli. I said that wrong. A lapis lazuli, and then a clear quartz today to help enhance this because sis, I was under a lot of mental pressure today, but to keep my mental realm, keep it where it needs to be. It's just going to amplify what's within. Exactly. That's all your tools are doing. So whether you use a magic wand, crystals, sage, oil, it doesn't really matter what your tool is. It's not the tool that is the magic. It's you. But it's fun to have tools. But I don't want people to think that they have to go buy these things to feel their power. You already have it. You are the power. I've got the power. You do that part. But yeah. So let's talk about some spiritual protection tools that you can use. We talk about crystals. Crystals resonates. Different crystals, different stones, different gems resonate for different frequency levels. So if you're looking for something, let's say you need something that's more grounding, I would say like a ruby, or we'll say an onyx or tourmaline, something dark and hefty, a jade. You need something that's going to help ground you, help you enhance that part of yourself to feel like you're here so you don't float away. I know that's my problem sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I just want to go into my own dream world and just float away and never come back. But that's not what we're here to do. We're here to be grounded and get boots on the ground and get our missions done, because we all here for a different mission. So that's what we're here for, to activate our mission, right? So let's say you need to clear out some negative energy in your home, right? I would say sage. However, I don't promote sage as much anymore because it's been over harvested. However, you can use sage. I would say definitely use it liberally. Palo Santo works. Frankincense and myrrh works. Dragon's blood incense is amazing. Oh, I freaking love dragon's blood incense. I just love the way it smells. So you can use incense, and that's a way to help clear our negative energy. So if you guys do that, I'm gonna do during this series. I'm gonna show you guys some of my own practices that I do to help keep the protection energy in my home. Especially with the fall right now. I love doing floral washes. I love doing energy cleanses. So I look forward to putting out content on that for you guys on what I do to keep the energy in my home. Because really my home is really my safe ground. This is like, of course, this is where you sleep. I eat here, my children live here, my family, those who are close to me come here. And so I'm very protective of my home space. And in doing that, I've learned other measures to help keeping that peace energy. I'm about, when I come home, this is my peace of mind. This is my harmony. This is where I come to really just be my authentic self, right? That I don't have to feel like a mask. And I'm feeling more like that now. Like I don't have to wear a mask outside the world either. But you guys know what I mean. Like you're not going to be the way you are with your party friends and how you're going to be with your coworkers, depending on the kind of job relationship you have. So that's what I mean by I don't feel like here when I come home, I don't have to have that mask on either. Because we all have masks. So we don't want to act like masks is a bad thing. Mask on, mask off. You got to know when to put it on and when to take it off, okay? So that's another tools. Oracle cards. I freaking love Oracle cards. You don't have to invest in Oracle cards, but I say that they're good to invest in. I just ordered and they came in the other day, a few different Oracle cards. Oh, shoot. I'm going to share these two with you guys because I've used it on myself, and I did it in a reading recently. And the accuracy, and the reason why your readings are accurate, I'm going to say this. It's not the cards either, guys. The cards are not what's accurate. It's your energy that's what's accurate. all you're doing is pulling out a card, or maybe you're attracting out a card that's already reflecting what you have already been experiencing. It's just here to confirm. I won't use the word firm. It's here to affirm, not confirm, but affirm what you already know to be true about yourself. So let's talk about some oracle cards, all right? I bought this one off of Amazon. This is the Shamanic Medicine Oracle card. Yo, this one is so on point. So on point. Exactly. Okay, you feeling me, girl? You feeling me, Goddess Essence? It's not the cards, it's you, sis. Yes. I'm glad y'all with me on this. But this one has really been helpful. I'll share the 2 cards that I pulled for myself earlier today from this deck. I had pulled this one called Medicine Wheel. And I also pulled the Middle World. So to explain, well, not to explain, but to share that part. We ain't here to explain now. We just here to share. To explain what these 2 cards have meant for me. Right now, my personal life, I'm telling you guys, is more so my internal world, right? I'm really tapping into my emotional realm, and that's new to me. Like, I'm not one to go into my emotions or my feelings about things, because I've learned, I was conditioned and learned how to block that out and to be what people need you to be. And so now that I'm in a place of being what I need myself to be, and I've noticed that I don't voice my opinion. It's not as much opinion. I don't voice my wants and desires. And some of it's out of fear of that it's not going to get answered because I experienced that. And others, it's just because I believed myself to be a burden if I was to ever suggest or put out what I wanted, right? So now that I'm in this place of like really tapping into my own emotional realm, as far as just connecting back to some old experiences that I don't say I forgot, but you ain't trying to deal with that. You just want to throw it back there. Tapping into that, and then also tapping into this newfound place of really being free, allow myself to feel free in that. So the continuation wheel was really talking to that part of myself of really sitting down in my own little circle, in my own little chair, in my own little corner, dealing with my own little emotions, right? So I really am not as pushed off about that as I once was. My middle world card was about learning how to be in the middle, because it's like I have these extremes. I can either be so far in my own world, my dream world, my spiritual world, mental plane, astral plane, whatever you want to call it. I could be all up there. And then I have moments when I'm all on earth, and it's like all that, all that comes with that, and I am finding the balance and the harmony between the two. Like my worlds don't have to be at odds with each other. They can be in tandem. I can be spiritual and practical, because spirituality wasn't practical to me, right? So that's what this platform is about. We're about practical spirituality. I'm not here for the woo-woo stuff, but that's fun. But I'm here for it. I need to know how to make this stuff work in my life, because life is real. We got bills, you know what I'm saying? Energy exchanges. I have children. I have people who want my attention, career, all these things. I need my own attention too. So how to live in both worlds. So I was really loved how those cards was really honing in onto what I'm doing right now in my own life. Meditation is a wonderful spiritual protection and defense in ways to work into your shadow work. Journaling has been a big proponent for my healing and for my own walk in this life. What I write happens. You guys know what's interesting right now? I'm in this place where I gotta talk about my emotions, right? So I'm writing more about my emotions, and I have this idea of what I want to do. Like, I want to write about my emotions and put it out there, or my own inner realm. So it comes to my emotions, but I don't want my face. It's funny. I want to put it out there, but I don't want my face to be tied to my emotions. So I'm looking to maybe start tapping into my my pen name and allowing my pen name to write for me. And then when I'm ready to put my name to my words, then I'll do it. But that's something I'm flirting with the idea right now. All right, let's go into the next card deck that I've got. Protecting Your Jewel. Hey, coming through. Hey, hey. The next one I have is this one. Oh my gosh. This is the Mystical Oracle. If you guys can read that. The Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. And yo, this one is a good one too. I'm trying not to make this a review, guys, but this is a great, great deck. And it's interesting because I actually have another card deck by Colette Baron Reed. I actually have another deck by her, which is her Spirit Animal deck, which is a really good deck. So yeah, this one, whoo, child. I really like this one because her and her colleagues, what they've done, they have been studying traditional practices, you know, in their life, and they study different traditional practices. And what they did, they put them all together into this deck, and they're more so shamanic, ancient shaman practices from different cultures. And they put together those ideas from the different cultures that they studied and lived and had their being in, and put them into this deck. And yo, oh my gosh. You know, I just love good packaging. I'm trying not to make this a review, guys, but I just love some good packaging. Like, look how much packaging they give you this really, you know, they give you a little slider box, the little slider that you put on the box. Then they give you the actual box, which is like hefty, like this is a real ass box. Then they give you the box, the deck box, like, you know, your cards are protected. I'm serious. Oh my God. And then they're good and sturdy too. Both decks have real good sturdy cards. But I like this. I pulled this one for myself. Ancient Ones. Which, you know, I knew that already. But sometimes you need a reminder. Sometimes you need a reminder because faith comes by hearing. And sometimes you got to hear things over and 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 over. Let me tell you something I learned about that, y'all. And actually, I won't say I learned it today, but it was reflected back to me today about this thing about faith comes by hearing. So I have this new, well, it's not a new person. It's not a new person. Let me back up. One of my coworkers is out who does the maintenance on the properties I work on. And he's going to be out for a while. So we've been bring other maintenance people to, well, it's just one of the person to come help out, you know, do maintenance stuff on my property for me. And yeah, this person's terrible. Like, this person doesn't follow directions. And I'm one, I believe, at least I believe I am, I believe I give really clear directions, right? And so I said, okay, well, you don't do well with verbal, so I'll write things down. I'm like, okay, you don't do well when I write things down. Let me write things down and make a checkbox so you can check off on the things that you did. That doesn't work. So, okay, so I said, let me try option number 4 because I'm tired of having this conversation with this particular person on things I want them to do. So I said, okay, I'm going to have you write down what I want you to do, and I want you to write them down and then read it back to me what you're going to do, blah, 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 blah. So pretty much I was treating this person like a child, which was quite frustrating, to be honest, because I feel like I should be, since we are adults here and we working for a business and we all here for business, I should only be able to tell you once what to do and you should do it. But you know what? Some people don't rock like that. But anyway, that moment taught me something right then and there. It reflected back something to me. It reflected back to me how faith comes by hearing, and you have to hear something over and over. And you're only gonna keep hearing this over and over again until you get it. Talking about me, y'all, not you, but me. Till you get it, you're gonna keep hearing this thing over and over again. And until it sits with you, until it resonates with you, until it's in your frequency, it's in your vibration, it's in your mind, it's in your heart, it's in your know that you know that you know that you know it's in your I am, you're going to have to keep hearing it. And that's not a problem, okay? So I have more compassion for this person now because I recognize myself in that person. Hey, baby. This is how I know it's getting ready time to go when she starts doing this. But yes, this is a good deck. I'm gonna make sure I link these decks on YouTube. Sorry, Instagram, you gotta go to YouTube to this video if you want the decks. Like, yes. Hey, Infinite Love Vibration, I see you coming through. Thank you for showing some love. Hello, hello. But all right, that's going to be wrapping up today. So let's just kind of go ahead and recap because I don't want to keep you guys too long on this beautiful evening. I'm trying to find, since my schedules are changing, I'm trying to find what times work best for everybody. Well, more so what time's gonna work best for me. It's gonna work for y'all too. But that's how it's gonna rock. But all right, thank you guys for tuning in. But let's do a recap. So we're talking about the shadows, and we're talking about spiritual warfare. It starts in the mind. Having a clear mind, a sound mind, where your mind goes is where your energy will flow. We talk about faith comes by hearing. You have to hear something over and over again until it resonates with you, till you believe it, till you walk in the I am that I know that I am, right? And then we also talked about the tools. It's not the tools that give you the magic. You are the magic. The tools, just all they do is transmute your magic through you. So when we use things like crystals or wands or cards or whatever, sage, clearing oils, whatever we use, remember, the power doesn't lie in any of those things. The power lies in you. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, that just touched my soul so deeply. Thank you so much. Oh, that's what's up. Thank you, Yemi. Yes. Well, all right, ladies and gents, I love you all, and I wish you all health, wealth, and abundance all the days of your life. We are here to up-level ourselves. We're going to ride this together, and I'm happy to be. Y'all see, she's a diva, y'all, like her mama. I'm so happy to be here with y'all. Until next time, I'll see y'all tomorrow, ladies. We're going to be doing Yoni Talk Wednesdays. Yes. I'm excited about this conversation. All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.